And let's do some yoga. We are recording, FYI. So let's come into a comfortable seat at the top of our mat, grounding down into the earth, into the floor, long, tall spine, shoulders back and down, big, deep breath in all the way down to the core of your tummy. And that might be the first big, deep breath that you've taken today. And it probably feels really good. So if you want to do that again, twice or three times, go right ahead through your nose, all the way down and all the way out, breathing through your nose always. And we're just going to give ourselves a little scan from head to toe, taking note of all those little places inside of you where you might be holding on to stress or tension or pain within your body. And on your next big deep breath in, let's visualize ourselves sending the oxygen into those places inside of us that need it the most. You might engage that ujjayi breath, a little constriction in the back of your throat, a little audibility with the breath. And as you exhale, we want to really elongate those exhales and make them longer than the inhales. And we're going to gently push the air out of our lungs in a slow and controlled manner. So at the beginning of the exhale, you're exhaling the same volume of breath as you are at the end of the exhale. Let's inhale, both arms up, 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 up. Hold, palms facing each other. Let those shoulders drop away from your ears. Let your tongue drop away from the roof of your mouth. One full breath cycle. Exhale down through center. Inhale up. Exhale through. Inhale up. And on the exhale, bringing that right hand to the left knee and the left arm behind you like a strong second spine. Twisting open, looking over that left shoulder, keeping the spine long and straight from your tailbone to your lower back, to your mid back, to your shoulders. And maybe finding a little bit more space on the exhale. Inhale, both arms up, up, up. And on the exhale, other side, bringing that left hand to the right knee and the right arm behind you. Twisting open, looking over that right shoulder. Long, tall spine from your tailbone, lower back, mid back to your shoulders. Twist it out. Maybe finding a little bit more space on the exhale. Inhale, both arms up into the air. And let's just drop the right arm only, reaching over with the left. Twist that chest open towards the ceiling. Big full breath. And you're going to feel this one is more in your side body and your ribs. Slow, steady breath. Inhale, both arms up, up, up into the air. Other side, dropping that left arm, reaching over with the right. Both sides of your bum flat on the mat. Twisting that chest open towards the ceiling. And just recognizing the different sensations that you might feel in your ribs and your side body on the inhale versus the exhale. Two different things going on there, right? Let's inhale, both arms up into the air. Exhale, bring it down through center. Now with our hands on our knees, we're going to make big circles with the torso, so exaggerated movements all the way back, all the way forward, but keeping both sides of your bum flat on the mat. This is a hip movement coming from your pelvis, switch directions, go the other way. And we're just kind of waking up the waist and the midsection and the core. All right. And coming back into your neutral seat, let's come into our tabletop. Palms flat, fingers spread out wide, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Inhale, looking up at the ceiling, pressing that belly button down into the mat, lifting from the chest. Exhale, tucking your chin, arching your spine, pressing down through your shoulders and the palms of your hands. Inhale, looking up at the ceiling, lifting from the chest, pressing that belly button down into the mat. And one more, tucking your chin, arching your spine, pressing down through your shoulders and the palms of your hands. Now, let's look over the right shoulder like you had a tail back there. Let those hips fall down towards the left. Take a big, deep breath in here, waking up the spine in all directions. Looking over the left shoulder, let those hips fall down to the right. Big, deep breath. Seal it in. And we're going to come back up into center. Now, sending your awareness down into your right knee and your right leg. We're just going to keep that knee bent and we're just going to lift it up, kind of like you were a dog peeing on a fire hydrant. And this is just rotating your hip flexor, waking it up in there. And we're going to make little circles with the knee if that feels good. And you can really lift that knee up as high as you feel for. Keep the knee bent, making your little circles, and just exploring that range of motion. Now, before we bring it back down, let's bring it up behind us. Keep that knee bent. And we're going to potentially reach back with your left hand, opposite hand to the foot. And if you can grab onto your toes, you can press the back of your hand into your foot. And gently, gently let it all go. Bring it back down to the earth. Reset. Palms flat, fingers spread out wide. Let's do the other side. I'm just going to turn around for visual sake here. All right. Left knee comes up into the air. Fire hydrant. And just give it a moment, give it a breath. Let your hip experience that sensation for a moment. Take a breath. And then we'll start making our circles in the other direction. And then we're going to lift that leg up behind us. Knee is bent. You're still at a 90-degree angle. Picking up the right hand and reaching behind us. Maybe grabbing onto that foot. Maybe. Something to work towards if we're not quite there yet. And gently release, let it all go, coming back down onto your hands and your knees. Tucking your toes, lifting your hips, sending them up and back, downward facing dog. First downward dog of the day. Bending those knees. You might find a little crack in your toes. Grounding down through your thumb and your forefingers. Shoulder blades slide up your back. Sending your chest towards your thighs. And your hips go up, 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 up towards the sky. Beautiful. Looking up at your hands, step or jump to the front of your mat. Inhale halfway, long straight spine. Exhale all the way down to the floor. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bring it down through center. Nice. Let's do one sun salutation. On this gray winter day, inhale, rise, bring it up tall. Exhale, all the way down to the floor. Inhale, halfway, long straight spine. Exhale, hands flat, step or jump back into plank. Holding that plank just for one breath. Elbows tucked in close to your body, lowering all the way down to the earth. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Lifting from the chest, let the muscles in your bum and your glutes relax. Tucking your toes, lifting your hips, sending them up and back, downward facing dog. And we'll just take a moment here. We'll just take a breath or two. And you might still be bending your knees and waking up your hamstrings. Looking up at your hands. Step or jump to the front of your mat. Inhale halfway, long straight spine. Exhale all the way down to the earth. Beautiful. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bring it down through center. Let's take a big step back with that right foot. Just turning it out at a 45-degree angle. Send that right hip out behind you. Just kick it right out there. Left arm in front, right arm behind, reaching forward. Reach, 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 reach until you can't reach anymore. Dropping the back of your hand to the inside of your ankle. Right arm goes up into the air, Trikonasana. Maybe gazing up at that hand if that's available to you. And maybe taking a look down at your hand on your ankle and just follow the line of your arm from your hand to your elbow to your shoulder to your next shoulder to your elbow to your hand, and just check out the is it straight? Are you creating a long line? Is your arm kind of are you overcompensating, trying so hard to be straight that your arm is almost going back a little bit too far? Can you straighten it out a little bit? I see that a lot when back in the old days when we used to be in the studio together. You know, everybody's trying so hard to be straight that it's like they're almost like overcompensating. Now let's look down at our foot. Find the balance. Inhale to rise. Bring it up tall. I love this sequence because we do the open hip of the Trikonasana, and now we're going to do a closed hip. Let's turn towards the front of our mat. Take a big step forward. So all the toes are facing the front of the mat. And your feet are on train tracks, not a tightrope. Okay, about hip width apart. And your feet are really not that far from each other. Like the toes of your right foot should almost be in line with the heel of your left foot. Almost, almost. Let's inhale to rise, bring it up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Now, if you have a block or a box or a pillow, you might choose to use it here. And just bring the floor up to you a little bit closer. And we're going to take some big, deep breaths. And with every exhale, you might find a little bit of space to move forward. Gently pulling that left hip back, allowing that right hip to come forward, really squaring your hips to the front of the room, to the front of your mat. Let the muscles in your head hang down loosey goosey. And on your next inhale, we're going to rise up and I'm going to give you some options. We're going to put our arms behind us and you might just grab on elbow to elbow. Now, if your shoulders are a little bit more open, you might do a reverse prayer position by bringing your hands together behind you in prayer position. But you want to make sure that if you are doing this, the heels of your hands are actually coming together. Otherwise, you're not quite there yet, and that's okay, something to work towards. But we don't want to do a forward fold if the heels of your palms are not coming together. So we'll just take it back a notch and grab on elbow to elbow. Okay, inhale, big breath. Exhale, forward fold, pulling the left hip back and the right hip forward. Good job, yogis. Moving with your breath with every inhale, rising up just a little touch, making space. And with every exhale, moving into the space that you're creating. On the inhale, rise up, rise up, rise up. Beautiful. Let it go. Roll the shoulders back. That was pretty intense. And we're just going to turn around to the other side of our mat. Actually, let's come to the long edge of our mat. We skipped a step. That's my fault. So long edge of the mat, toes facing forward. Big wide stance. Inhale, arms up into the air. Stretch it out, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Bring it on down. Wide-legged forward fold. Such a simple posture, but honestly so valuable for so many different reasons. For your hips, for your all these fluids in your body, um, lymphatic lymphatic fluid, blood. You know, it's we're always upright. So when we hang out upside down and everything is just kind of like, like sloshing around inside of us, but it's good. Our body likes that. Our body likes to be it likes to be tested. It likes to work at its fullest capacity, right? Big full breaths. You might come down on your forearms. You might experiment with the width of your feet. One more big deep breath. And on the inhale, let's bring it back up tall. Yeah. All right. Turning towards the back of your mat. So right toes facing forward. And just take a little step forward. So you've got about a leg space in between your feet here. Right toes facing forward, left toes at a 45-degree angle pointed away from your mat. Kick that left hip out behind you. Right arm in front, left arm behind. Reaching forward. Reach it out as far as you can, a little bit more. Keep going, keep going. And when you're as far as you're going to get, drop the back of your hand to the inside of your ankle. Left arm goes up into the air. Beautiful open hip trikonasana. Triangle here. Triangle here. And there's another one, but I don't see it. But there's 3 triangles in the Trikonasana. Take a little look down at your hand and follow the line from your hand to your elbow, to your shoulder, to your next shoulder, to your elbow, to your hand. Can you straighten it out, creating that long straight line? One more big breath, you guys. Looking down at your foot, finding your balance. Inhale to rise, bring it up tall. And we're going to take a big step forward. All the toes facing the front of the mat. Your feet are on train tracks, not a tightrope. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Bring it on down. Pulling that right hip back, allowing the left hip to move forward. Let the muscles in your neck and your head relax. This is a closed hip fold. Beautiful big breaths. Let's inhale to rise, bring it up tall. And if you have a block or a box or a folded up blanket, this is your chance to use it. Okay, options. Reaching behind us, just grabbing on elbow to elbow. Or reverse prayer hands. Remember, you want to make sure that your heels of your hands are touching each other. And let your back support you. Let your spine support that motion. And shoulders back, lifting from the chest. Big full breath. Exhale, forward fold. Now, you might even find that your forward fold is a little bit less with your shoulders behind your back, the way that they are, but that's okay. Just go with it. Experience the sensation. Pull that right hip back, allowing the left hip to come forward. Big full breaths. Inhale to rise, bring it back up. Nice. Gently let it go. Give those shoulders a little roll. That was pretty intense. Always, always treating our bodies with kindness. Pasta, not craft dinner. Inhale, rise, bring it up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Bring it back down. Now for this one, we're going to drop that right hand down, fingers flat, palm flat, fingers spread out wide. Twist it open with the left. Beautiful. One more breath. Bring it back down, switch it out, left hand flat, fingers spread out wide. Twist it open with the right. Might be different on each side. That's okay. We're going to get a little bit less length in this position. One more breath and inhale to rise. Bring it back up tall. Heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, those feet in. And pointing your toes out towards the corners of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squat it down. We're coming down. All the hard stuff is over. Long, tall spine, shoulders back and down. Let your hips sink down into your heels. Beautiful big full breaths. And dropping the booty down. Now, okay, feet flat, knees bent, okay? I was doing this last night, but I wasn't saying the words out loud. So I'm going to say the words out loud now and see if I can get it right. Feet flat, knees bent. And we're just going to drop both of those knees over to the right. I think this is called fallen deer pose. So let those knees fall over to the right and twist your body over to the left. So this is a little twisty. Breathe into it. And gently bringing those knees back up. It's almost like that windshield washer motion, but we're just really slowing it down, like maximum slowing it down. And then we're going to drop those knees over to the left, both of them over to the left, twisting the body over to the right. And remember to pay attention to your knees if it hurts or this is a little bit too intense for you. There's different modifications. If you have your blanket or your block, you can put it underneath your knees to give them a little bit of support. Maybe they don't want to go all the way down to the earth. Or maybe there's something that you're doing that is a little bit more accommodating for your body type and your abilities. So let's bring it back up into center. And with your torso centered in between your knees, we'll do a gentle windshield wash to the right and to the left. And one more to the right and to the left. And coming back up into center. I'm bringing those feet together in front of us, sole to sole. Long, tall spine, big, full breath. Exhale, forward fold. Beautiful. I like to kind of rock back and forth a little bit in my forward fold here because I find it kind of like stretches out the sides of my hips a little bit. You might want to play with that and see if that works for you too. Let's inhale to rise, bring it back up tall. And you can stay here with your feet together, sole to sole, if that feels really good for your hips and your knees. It is, it's a really nice sensation. Or you can cross your legs if you're finished there and and you just want to move into the next thing. Looking over the left shoulder, one full breath cycle. On the exhale, tucking that chin and gently, gently rolling down across the chest. Take your time if you find any sweet spots, any tension, just go slow, take your time, and come up the other side. Beautiful. Big full breath. And on the exhale, tucking the chin and gently rolling back from where we came. And coming back into center. And let's drop the right ear to the right shoulder, opening up on the left-hand side. And let that left shoulder drop away from your ear. You might even give it like a gentle pull. A gentle pull, though, like so gentle, right? And just moving your chin around. Just breathing into that area. Picking up the right hand, reaching across, give it a little squeeze, a little love. Coming back up into center, other side, dropping your right or your left ear to your left shoulder, opening up on the right hand side. Let that right shoulder drop away from your ear, just like gravity, pull it down. Breathe into that opening, a big breath or two. And then we're going to reach over with the left hand And just give it a little squeeze, give it a little love, give it a little rub, give it a little tug. Nice. Coming back up into center, let everything go. Inhale to rise, bring it up tall. Exhale down through center. And at the end of class, we find ourselves right where we started, back at the beginning. Just like every other week, this is the cycle of our practice, of the week, of the seasons, and everything, everything, everything in between. Namaste to all. I'll see you next week.